Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Fleur, and in today's yin yoga and meditation we're going to come to some basic yin poses that help us ground, and then we'll end with some meditation. But first of all, let's start to just settle in, take a little moment to check in where we are. So come to any comfortable seated position. I'm sitting on my knees at the moment, but you can come cross-legged, any other way that feels for a moment that you can check in how you are. So when you're ready, close your eyes. Take maybe a deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, allow the mouth to open inside out. And you can do that a few times if that feels good. Or if you're already feeling quite settled, just continue to breathe in your natural way. And take a little scan of your body. Notice where you feel connected and where you feel disconnected to yourself. Where do you feel grounded? Where do you feel a little bit up in the air or light? Is there any tension? Or is there any feeling of joy, softness? Notice everything that is there and let everything be welcome. Continuing to breathe in your own way. And then gradually allow any tension to soften. Seeing if you can find a bit more space. Letting the arms become heavy. Letting the belly soften. And if it feels right to you, you can bring your hands to your heart center, either in anjali mudra or one hand on the other. And set your sankalpa, your intention for yourself for this practice. And if you don't have a sankalpa, if you don't have an intention, just welcome that into whatever feels right for you. And I offer you an om to join in, or just listen or hum, taking a breath in to begin. Letting the sound resonate within you. And then blinking your eyes open. And then make a triangle with your hands, a sacred triangle symbol. And place it in front of you on the ground. And then again, close your eyes and just feel the connection to the ground. So this feeling of centering yourself and grounding. So if you're in a room, if you are on the floor, that it matters that it's a connection to the stableness of the ground, the earth. Feel this ground hold you. And in this next half hour, allow your weight to be fully taken by the ground, by the earth. So you can soften and release. And then slowly letting this go. And let's come to our first pose. So our first pose, it's not going to be a very long pose, it's going to be dangling. Dangling is a half yang pose, so we have a little bit of yang, a little bit of energy here to hold us upright. So I'll show you an alternative if you don't like this very much, or if you feel your head feels like blood is rushing in. Dangling is done with the feet hip widths apart, or a little bit wider if you like. And you can bend your knees a lot, letting your upper body soften onto your thighs. And then see if you can just relax the head down. Maybe you'd like to hold your elbows. Maybe you'd like to bring the hands behind your neck, interlacing the fingers and letting the elbows fall forward. Now if you feel this is too intense for the back of your legs,
or your head feels as throbbing, or you're getting a little bit dizzy, what you can do instead, you can maybe use a chair or wall behind you, leaning with your back against the wall, giving you a little bit more support here. If you want a quite intense version, like a rhinoceros charge, you're going to go the other way around, and with the back of your shoulders, so this part here, not the head, but trying to get the back of your shoulders against the wall. So a little tap here. Oops, that's my headphones. You're basically looking like this. This could also be an option. Now, all of these three options I gave you are head hanging forward. So if you feel this is too intense, you can also do this version where you bring the legs out in front of you and see if you can take a little forward fold here. If your hamstrings are really tight, maybe you're going to bend the knees a bit, folding forwards, or sitting on something, so taking a little bit of a height here. I want to do this version for myself, so let's begin to settle in wherever you are. And starting with the first few moments to just notice what is the sensation you are experiencing. Do you feel like anywhere there is a tension or a trying to reach or push into the sensation? And if you notice that, can you find an alternative where you soften and let the earth take your weight? Of course, if you are standing, there is a slight need to hold upright, otherwise you would just collapse onto the floor. But apart from the legs that hold you, can you let the upper body flop forward like a puppet, like a doll? And same in the seated position. Can you invite some release? Can your neck become even longer by just allowing the weight of your head again to turn to gravity? And this process is gradual, so it doesn't happen at the snap of fingers. It is a gradual release, a yielding. The breath is always a good indicator to check in if this is something that causes you some stress or struggle, or if the breath can just flow through you. And then embracing that stillness, and if you notice a bit more space, just softly enter into that space. Just a few more moments here. And then if you're on a forward fold, nice and slowly, you lower your hips down to come to a squat. If you're against the wall, move away from the wall. And again, coming to a squat if you're in the forward fold. Seated, if you need a little time to just come up and line your back, you can do that. Otherwise, just see if you can bend the knees slightly, roll the knees over to one side, and then join in your squat. So coming into a nice deep squat like a frog. Now if your heels don't touch the floor, you can always roll up a pillow or towel, and so resting your heels on top of those so that you have a bit of connection to the floor. Or you can just bring the hands slightly further forward and just take a little moment to release the lower back. You can rock forward and back. You can take a little bit of weight into the hands. and then begin to settle. So sinking down with the hips. If it's more comfortable to bring the hands on the floor, you can do that. Otherwise, you can also bring the hands to your heart, press the palms together so that the elbows gently open the knees. And then again, closing your eyes and let the weight of your hips, and especially the lower back, so your tailbone sink down towards the floor. Imagine the breath falls down to not just the belly, but into the whole area of your hips. Keep the shoulders relaxed, so make sure they don't hunch up to your ears. And again, feel that sensation of grounding, of being held, of softening. And this position is a really healthy one. It might feel quite uncomfortable for you, or it might feel easy. And we have a lot of the time forgotten how to rest in this pose. If we go to ancient tribes or people living without chairs and office chairs, they are so used to sitting like this in a very comfortable way. This is really lovely for the lower back. Notice what's going on as you stay here for a little while longer. And slowly release. Bring the hands down towards the floor. Walk them a bit forward and come to a tabletop position. Knees underneath your hips and hands under the shoulders. And then start with a little cat-cow curl. So as you inhale, opening the chest, as you exhale, round the spine. And keep going. And notice how the spine feels. Pressing the floor away with your hands as you round the spine. As you inhale, open the chest forwards and lifting the tailbone. Now if this feels right and nice for you, you can continue like this. Or if you want a little bit more of a free flow, if you want to take it in circles, do the circles. So massaging the spine, giving yourself a bit of freedom here. Maybe the head wants to move as well. And invite any movement that feels right for you. And you can change over to the other side or continue for a few more rounds. Maybe your shoulders and arms want to get involved as well. So make it your own movement. Feel what feels right. And let's come from here to a heart opener. So keeping the knees underneath the hips, move your hands forwards. Stretch them out, making sure that your arms don't rotate inwards. So you want to rotate your arms outwards by thinking of the outer edge of your armpit to just roll slightly inwards and reaching your arms away from you. And then see if it feels okay to soften the forehead on the floor. You can place a little pillow under the forehead or a rolled up towel. If this is too intense for your shoulders and you just feel like you want to bend them, then I would suggest just doing one arm at a time. So bending maybe the left elbow in and then stretching your right arm forward. Forward rest on the arm and just feel the length in one arm. I'll let you know halfway when we're ready. So starting now, either with both arms straight if this feels uncomfortable, or one arm at a time. And then relax again into this position. Think of opening the heart, hips draw back slightly. feeling the release in your body, the softening and melting of the heart. If you had one arm out, then change over to the other side, otherwise stay. So we're halfway. Nearly there. And slowly releasing by just drawing your hips back, bending your elbows slowly. And you can come to a child's pose, so opening your knees a little wider if you like, maybe resting your forehead on your hands, taking a little wriggle through the hips if that feels nice. Just to reset, just to soften again. A few breaths in here. And softening as you breathe out. And then from here, hands underneath the shoulders, place the hands under the shoulders, taking a little wriggle if you like, and then bring the hips over to one side, and bring your legs together. Coming just to a nice easy Sukhasana, so an easy cross-legged position. Try and get your knees over your ankles so that you're crossing at the shins and not at the ankles. So it doesn't matter which leg is at the front because we're going to switch it over anyway. If it feels too intense, you can bring the lower leg a little bit in and just have the front leg close in front of the knee. And if that's too intense, maybe take some blocks or pillows underneath your knees so they support you, or again sit on something that's a little bit higher so your feet fall down a little bit more. So make it possible for you, not impossible or strain or strainful, that you just have to strain. And then see if you can rest your hands either on your knees, or maybe you'd like to just place them out to the side for a moment. And then lift the heart. And then from here, just drawing the chin a little bit in, and see if you can just relax into the legs. Press slightly into the outside edge of your feet. And if you already feel this sensation in your hips, that just stay there. Or if it feels okay, just bring your hands forwards in front of your shins and walk them to a place where you feel you can hold it, where it's not so tense that you grip your teeth, but so that you feel you can just softening it into it. And then let your head soften and stay here. You might notice you're letting go a little bit breath by breath, but again, don't expect that to happen. Letting go of your expectations of your body and be with it. And there might be the point where you have to pause and just stay. Feeling again the connection to Mother Earth. this release. Remember, there should not be any sensation in the knees, just in your hips and maybe glutes. Always working within your range of comfort to discomfort, your range of accessibility. And on this deep breath, the next one, taking just a gentle breath in deeply and then exhaling, soften just a little bit more. And then come out of the pose. Releasing. Draw your hands back. And then letting your legs slowly expand to the side. Give them a little shake. And let's come to the other side. So intuitively you might have done your good side. So this is the one where you want to be a bit gentler with yourself. So again, cross at the shins and see if this is available for you. And if not, either sit on something like a towel or a pillow, so you have a bit of height in the hips, or place things under the knees, so maybe 2 pillows right under the knees. And again, see if you find the position. Closing your eyes, be in your body, and if it was available, if it is available, see if you can slightly just flex your feet a little bit before you move forward. And then release again. Feel the earth hold you. There is no need to push, there's no need to arrive anywhere other than in this moment. And stay with your breath. Noticing if you can find a bit more space in these last few moments. And taking a breath in again. As you exhale, yield towards the earth. And then roll yourself up. Taking your time. Observing the hips in this case. And then stretching your legs away from you. And give the feet maybe a little shake. Feeling into the feet, into the legs. And just to give your hips a bit more space, bring the knees up and take a little rocking motion side to side. Little movement here. Beautiful. And let's come from here for our Shavasana. So lying back, you can stretch your legs out, open your arms to the side, looking up. If you prefer, if you're like me, I'm going to go and just sit while I do this, watching your time. So as you settle in, just begin to feel the floor take in all of your weight. So make sure you are feeling comfortable and warm, that there's nothing touching your body, so you feel there's space around you.
take again a little scan through your body, starting on the feet. And as you scan your body, imagine that a light is shining on the feet and all the way up. And where the light touches your body deeply relaxes and lets go. And this light is warm, relaxing and calming. Feel completely at ease and safe. And let the light move up the legs to your torso, up the arms, and finally moving over to the crown of your head. And enter into this deep state of softening and releasing. And just observe what's there, what's happening. And if you feel that it's uncomfortable or you want to twitch or open your eyes, remember everything is welcome. And you can always come back to another moment of stillness, taking a breath. Eventually Shavasana will become easy and soft. And then when you feel ready, begin to move your fingers and toes very gently. And take a deep breath in and reach your arms over the head. Take a nice long stretch. And in your own time you can bring your knees into your chest, or you can roll yourself over to one side and come back up to seated. Find again a comfortable seated position for you. Let your spine grow long, and again let the weight of your hips be connected to the gravity, to the earth. Shoulders just hanging in the frame of your body. Back of your neck long, and crown balancing and reaching upwards. And sitting here calmly for a few more moments, being present with all that is there right now, as if you are the witness of your body in this space and all that surrounds it. Air flowing in and out. Each breath is new, a new circle. Each breath a little different than the one before. And when you're ready, you can again place the hands to the heart center. Lift your heart to the hands and send a thought to someone you love and care for, from this calm, loving place within you. Remind yourself of the intention you set for yourself. And again, I offer the Om to close, taking a breath in. Namaste everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of the day. I hope you feel nice and calm and grounded. And I see you again soon.